This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Nearly a fifth of crude oil production and 28% of natural gas output in U.S. Gulf of Mexico federal waters remains offline in the aftermath of Hurricane Francine, the U.S. offshore energy regulator said on Sunday. Francine marched through prime offshore oil and natural gas producing areas and hit Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane on Wednesday. The storm toppled trees, flooded coastal areas and cut power in 4 southern states. Energy producers on Sunday had 338,690 barrels per day of oil production and nearly 515 million cubic feet of natural gas offline in Gulf waters, the Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement estimated from producer reports.
China's oil refinery output in August fell 6.2% from a year earlier, official data showed on Saturday, declining for the 5th month as disappointing fuel demand and weak export margins curbed production. Refiners processed 59.07 million metric tons of crude oil last month, data from the National Bureau of Statistics showed, equivalent to 13.91 million barrels per day. The August level inched up from July's 13.908 million barrels of oil per day, which was the lowest since October 2022, and off a hefty rate of 15.23 million barrels of oil per day a year earlier.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
India has received $386 billion in commitments from banks and financial institutions to expand its renewables capacity by 2030, Renewable Energy Minister Prahlad Joshi said on Monday. We received overwhelming commitments from states and union territories as well as from the developers, manufacturers and financial institutes to support our goal of 500 gigawatts by 2030, Joshi said during the annual Renewable Energy Investors Meet and Expo in Gujarat state. India added slightly more than 18 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity in fiscal 2024, compared with 15.3 gigawatts of capacity a year earlier, taking the total renewable energy capacity to 153 gigawatts. Fossil fuels account for over 77% of India's total electricity generation.
Marine fuel sales at Singapore, the world's largest bunker hub, posted a 2.3% monthly decline in August due to softer demand for key conventional fuel grades, data showed on Monday, although marine biofuel sales reached a monthly record high. Volumes for conventional bunker fuels softened for key grades month on month, as some spot demand got diverted to other Asia ports following a spike in Singapore bunker premiums and cargo tightness by late August, market sources said. August sales totaled 4.56 million metric tons, easing to a 2-month low, though logging a 7.2% uptick from a year earlier period, data from the Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore showed. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. China's August aluminium output rose from a year earlier to its highest since 2002, as higher prices and the prospect of steady profits kept smelters going strong. The world's biggest aluminium producer churned out 3.73 million metric tons of primary aluminium, 2.5% higher year-on-year, data from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, showed on Saturday. The amount was the highest monthly output on NBS data since 2002. Daily output in August averaged 120,322 tons, less than the average of 122,333 tons in June, based on Reuters' calculation.
Most non-ferrous metals rose on Monday, buoyed by a softer dollar amid expectations of an interest rate cut by the U.S. Federal Reserve this week. 3-month aluminium on the London Metal Exchange was 0.9% higher at $2,492 a metric ton by 0804 GMT. Earlier in the session, the contract hit the highest level since August 28 at $2,506.50. The Fed is almost as likely to deliver an outsized 50 basis point interest rate cut as a more usual 25 BP cut, trading in rate futures contracts suggests, as financial markets priced in a bigger chance that the Fed will move more aggressively.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Chicago wheat futures dipped from 3-month highs on Monday, but were supported by concerns over crop production in Europe and escalating tensions between Russia and Ukraine that could impact exports. Corn and soybean futures also fell as the United States geared up for large harvests of both crops. The most active wheat contract on the Chicago Board of Trade was down 0.6% at $5.91 minus 1/2 a bushel by 0323 g/m/t, having touched $5.99 on Friday, its highest since June 19.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.